Welcome, Amandeep. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome for the third time. Where are you?
Oh my God. Third time is the lucky charm.
Third time is a good time. Come back. Where are you? I can't see you. All my jokes are finished. Oh my God. How do I turn off this participants list? Okay. Welcome for the third time to QuamiCollab. All right, I'm going to put a timer. We are going to do very short. This time we're not going to be that long instances. Our video has already crashed 3 times. So let's roll with this. Okay. What's this going to be? This is going to be a 30-minute session. It's called QuamiCollab 101. We're just going to talk about 3 things. We're going to just talk about portfolio and resume and how to fill your portfolio and resume when somebody's asking for it. And when we, in the future conversations, when we talk about portfolio or resume in any artistic or creative conversation, what does it mean, right? So Aman, 5 minutes, let's kick off. What is a resume? Let me check is it recording. Wait. Yes, it is recording. Okay.
Oh, very good. I don't want to make it before time. So guys, let me be very straight. Don't want to sound like somebody giving a lot of knowledge. I'm sure you all use Tinder, right? Your resume is exactly like your Tinder profile, where you put yourself, like your perspective, you paint a picture, and the person on the other side is deciding whether to swipe you left or whether to swipe you right. So if you get the right swipe, you get an interview.
This is such a millennial way of explaining.
I thought our bullseye TG was exactly those people. So why not talk in their language, right?
Okay, tell me the most basic things when you're asked, hey, what is a resume? Most basic things which you would need to be on that document, which will make it a resume.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to stick to my example, right? What do you put in your Tinder profile? I need to see a picture. I need to know basic things like whether you are male, female, what kind of school you went to, did you do any projects, right? What are your hobbies? So it's just like I need to know your experience, your education, your projects, that kind of stuff.
Male, female, LGBTQ, whatever you want to see your
doesn't matter, right?
as. Exactly.
I'm interested in your personality and your background, right?
In creative industry, whenever I have asked for an open call for any sort of hiring, resume, we're looking for your trajectory. Okay, if you went to school, please tell us. If you did not go to school, no problem. Maybe you did some course, maybe you won an award, anything. Whatever can help us understand what you've been doing for
Akshay, can I tell you a very small story?
Yeah.
Because we did not go to the best engineering school in the world. It's not just the point I wanted to make is that if you're not from a great school, it doesn't matter, right?
Okay.
People hire you for who you are.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that is definitely true. That you will be hired for who you are, your work, your personality, and not going to a good school might be a problem initially. But over the long term, you can catch up. There are other ways to catch up and other ways to excel.
Actually, let me flip it now, right? Because portfolio in artistic world and for creatives is very different. I want you to ask this question. What is portfolio for creative people, Akshay?
It's getting really cold here. My heater is not working. So I'm going to zip up.
Is it snowing? I don't know, we keep deviating, but is it snowing? It's not snowing here.
It's not snowing. It's cold, but it's also not that cold. I think it's just my house. And also I wanted to show off this amazing ski mask monkey cap / baklava thing which I got from the Bronx. So I thought I'll wear that.
See, guys, I want to point out how people change when they shift to Western countries. Something which is called a monkey cap back home in India is now whatever, right? It's a monkey cap, dude.
Yeah, it is all the same, right? And exactly, it is all the same even in portfolio, right?
By the way, about CVs, if somebody puts a picture with a ski mask on, I would definitely interview him.
I think it is about who you're sending the portfolio to. So many times I get asked, I have to make a portfolio for school or I have to make a portfolio for submission somewhere. How do I do it? And it's you just basically find out, okay, what is the objective that you want to achieve? Maybe I want to show my work to Aman, a project I'm working on, or maybe, for example, if I apply to school, I want to show that I'm working on, this is the 5 years what I've been working on. And you just make a selection which explains that idea. So,
but see, Akshay, for a lot of people who are starting off, because we went through the same thing. It's like chicken or egg, right?
Yes.
It's easy to say because you have been doing this for 10 years, dude. You have your work to show, right? Hence, you have a portfolio. What about me? I just started 2 years ago.
Exactly.
What do such people do, right?
Well, the best idea is that find whatever is most resonant with you. Right. So let's say you find the best 5 pieces of your work and just put them together, and maybe just go with that. That is a great starting point if you don't have anything else. Whatever resonates with you, and there's a good possibility that it might take a little bit time to be picked up. But if there is the enthusiasm of showing the work, I'm sure you will get something out of it.
One more question, right? Now you have the same portfolio. Let's say you have built like all your work in one portfolio, but you have 2 different opportunities to apply for. One is, let's say, a proper job, like a curator for a position of a curator at a museum, and the second one is because a particular country is opening up a new building for the Ministry of Art and Culture, and they have an open call for the masterpiece which needs to be put in the lobby. How would you differentiate?
You are asking me that what is the difference between a commission versus maybe an open application to an open call. And because their objectives are different, a commission might be made for something, for someone, for a specific target audience, versus an open art call is just about the space or the opportunity. You will approach both of them with that objective, that what can I do with this opportunity, or what can I do with this space which is available for me? And I will try to show relevant information in that direction. So it's quite straightforward. It's not that complicated. A lot of times we have a lot of difficulty in understanding how to apply and stuff. But actually, if you just show somebody your portfolio, you'll be able to read like how much they understand or not. And in arts, everything is abstract. You have to just fine tune that abstraction.
And another question is, this is like a tension between the creative and the commercials, right? Because whenever I speak to any creative person, including you, and talk about sales, marketing, and pitching, you are like really pissed off.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But my point is, Akshay, that if you're creating something which is artistic, and like you just said, it is abstract. The meaning of abstract is that it is subjective, right? Everybody would see it in a different way.
Yeah.
But don't you think it's important for you to spell it out for general audiences or that other person who is looking at your work to communicate what you're trying to do? Hence, that sales thing, which we call sales, but it is not sales. It is just communication. It's about convincing that person and at least helping that person to understand your perspective. What do you think about that?
Exactly. I think you are super right, Aman. And I think it is actually everything outside of your artistic practice is actually about communication. One of the reasons why we're going to be doing QuamiCollab is so that you have opportunity to listen to like these different artists talk about their experiences so that you can relate to their work more and you can understand their work, right? If you're going to talk to somebody in a language they don't understand, obviously their ability to communicate with you is going to be much lesser than in language if they do understand. It's very simple. And you are just giving them tools to be able to speak in very similar terms as yourself. So it is much more about communication.
And another point which I want to make out, Akshay, is like let's do a very small, very tiny role play right here, right? That you are somebody like you are an artist, and I'm going to apply as your assistant. Right? There's an open call to be your assistant. So there's Aman, which is me, and I just submit like a cover letter, which is like a basic thing, a basic resume, right? No, that's one. And there's another guy, which is Raman, which is my doppelganger, and he says in the cover letter that, "Hi Akshay, I've been following your work and it's really inspiring. What I really like the most about your work is the series you did in Vrindavan. I could really relate to it because I've been to Vrindavan and I really feel good about it." And then he talks about his resume and why he's interested in applying for that opportunity. Now, as a human being, right, who would you prefer more?
I think if their resumes are identical, let's just say, right? Because they're identical, then I would prefer a person who has taken interest in my work and is eager to be aligned with my ideas, because I don't have to train them, right? Whereas if you are writing a cover letter and if your resume is not strong, Like when I say strong, I don't mean like, oh, like you should have like just very specifics, but it's just like if it's not explored or if it's very fresh, then obviously writing a very good cover letter still gives you advantage because they remember you. They remember that, hey, this person might not have so much experience, but they're putting effort. That's very important. Yeah.
So see guys, these are very small things. One is if you're not doing a little bit of research about the person and the company you're applying to and their work, because you spend like 4 hours on Facebook and Instagram every day, but you wouldn't spend 10 minutes on doing this simple research when you're applying. And two, if you're doing research and if you're not communicating it, if you're not mentioning it in the cover letter, then also it's a problem, right?
Definitely. And there are, let me be honest, there are a lot of hidden things which you don't know on the surface are important, but they become important with regard to somebody else's work when you apply to them. Like, for example, if I apply to work in Aman's creative team, then I know that Aman's organization works a lot on Microsoft Excel. It is not at all interesting to me. Neither is it something which I use in my artistic process. But it gives me a tool to be able to now communicate with them, and that communication really helps accelerate ideas forward.
For example, guys, a big shout out to Microsoft Excel. Big shout out to first job which Akshay was doing with the biggest telecom company in the world, and to me, which I was working in an IT company. I think we use Excel for almost everything. It's just it's nothing. It's just a tool. But in today's world, knowing Excel, knowing PowerPoint, knowing how to use Slack is also an important way of communicating and working in a team.
I think it's the best way to describe it is if like there is a lot of miscommunication with regard to what artists really do versus their perception. Right? If you really start reading artist letters, artist proposals, you'll really see they put in a lot of time into the language they use. They put in a lot of time into the way their portfolios, their resumes flow, and what comes on it. Right? And when artists talk about themselves, they talk about themselves as like these very casual beings, who just happen to be there at the right place at the right time. But actually, that's a big misconception. There's a lot of work goes into everything to make it work. I know that you have really moved on up in the industry because of self-initiated projects, and it has helped you transition a lot. And there is a lot of like myth about these how exactly do these projects come to life and suddenly they become like these incredible projects, right? Like these big things. But actually, there are hundreds and thousands of them everywhere, on every level, which are doing something. Can you tell me more about like how can you use those ideas?
Yeah, so absolutely. See, first of all, since we're talking about portfolios and applying at certain places, I think what a self-initiated project does is that it shows me 2 or 3 things about you. One is that you really immerse yourself in an idea and you truly believe in it. You believe in it so much, which is a true sign of an artist, that you went ahead alone or with a bunch of friends without having any objective, financial objective, business objective, and you did it. Communication is a big problem. Language is a big problem, right? People do not understand your idea. It's clear in your head, but if you have to present it to them, even if it's a self-project, do it, make a video about it, make a case study about it, then show it to people. Right? Don't talk about it, show it to them.
Okay, Aman, tell me about getting scared. Like sometimes people ask you for a resume, portfolio, they want to involve you in a project, and you feel like a little shy, apprehensive with regard to applying for that. Like how to get over that?
I would like to introduce a concept called shamelessness right here. Guys, you have to be totally shameless. And when I say shameless, I say in a meaning that you don't have to be shy. Be comfortable with yourself. Do shit, break shit, communicate that shit. If you get rejected, don't give a shit. If somebody gives you feedback, accept it, get better. But keep doing what you're doing, man. Never stop. Never stop.
All right. And last takeaways, like any professional practice tips, like basic tools of communications which people should pick up is like, one is definitely know how to do research for yourself, how to write and try to explain ideas in whatever language you're working on. And Aman, like a few tips from you.
Yes, I think we live in a wonderful world because when we were growing up, digital was just picking up. Right now, everybody's super adaptive and super easy with all the tools which you have. Right, you have social media channels, you have so many tools. So I think make use of them. Every social media channel or these tools are like a potential portfolio of yours. You can showcase your work. Doing collaborations is so much easier. There are forums, there are groups. Please join them. Be collaborative. Reach out to people. Make things happen. Like don't ever stop.
Cool. Thank you so much, Aman, for taking time to explain all of this stuff. And we make more of like these 101 sessions if we come up against things which we feel like we should explain. All right, QuamiCollab.
QuamiCollab, guys. See you in the next one.